Hello, everyone. This is Scratch and Jack, your host for the Amazing Classic Sunday Hangout of this beautiful Sunday with 1,400 and what is this? 1,425. That's the number of people we have signed up on our community. It is a vibrant one, and we post a lot because it's a community of skill modelers of all shapes and sizes, skill levels, so like tips and tricks with another, and I'm going to mute you there, Heath. And we like to share one another's skill modeling achievements. And today we got starting with the C's, not with the H's. Thank you, Carwin, for showing up. I get to talk to you first and not Heath.
And I'm happy to be here. Been doing a lot of work on my Enterprise D, and that's coming along. It's taken time. The longest thing with the D is that because I'm putting the decals on it, is that I have to give it time between, once you put on, say, half a dozen decals, you have to move on to a different part of the model to put the decals on, otherwise they start lifting again. So, yeah, you know, you put on sort of half a dozen and then leave them set for a day, and then move on to other things. So, I'm doing that, plus I'm doing this.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice.
So, yeah, that's coming along.
Where did you get
that? This was a gift. I went to a Dragon Models workshop in Hong Kong, and this was a gift from the owner. So
I'd like to know him too.
So yeah, I'm doing that. Plus, I'm doing prep work for Blade Runner Street Scene that I'm building, which is I'm just sort of gathering parts and things and doing some preliminary work, making stuff for that. Plus, one of the guys has asked me to build an interior for an AMT shuttlecraft. A Galileo shuttlecraft, so that's currently what I'm working on, which is I've got the inside of the floor. That's done.
Nice.
And I'm just working on the ceiling light for it. Now the ceiling light is tricky because I can't make it too thick, which means that the ceiling itself is actually just a little bit over 3 millimeters thick. So it's working out how to light this the best way without making it any thicker. So I think I've got a solve for it, but we'll see. It's all working out.
Very good. Very cool. Looking forward to that because, you know, our resident scratch builder, Ken Skiffington from, I think, Newfoundland, is now going to Alberta for his job. We left a few days ago.
Yeah.
And I'm going to miss him, you know.
Oh, that man does some incredible stuff. I mean, he does absolutely amazing work.
Well, what's interesting is that the last time he was on the Across the Pond Hangout, he said he'll be gone in a week. And then he's posting like every single day. It's like, dude, aren't you supposed to be packing? But he's spitting out all these, you know, all these kits and stuff. And I have to
I think he was just getting it out of his system.
Right, and you're the other one that does a lot of scratch building too. You're not too shabby yourself, Mister. You're pretty good.
Thank you. Well, I try. Yeah, when it comes to scratch building I find to be a bit more interesting and a bit more fun than regular kit building. Kit building, you're kind of limited to whatever it is that you've bought. You can do different things with it, with kit bashing and stuff like that, but with scratch building, you're pretty much only limited by your imagination. So, you know, it's good fun. And you know, like I said, when I'm building something like this, which I have to sort of follow what they built as the original series, the tricky part that you've got is the fact that AMT built the shuttle for the studio, and the studio prop is nothing like the set, and the studio prop and the set is nothing like the model kit. So how do you how do you make the set fit the model kit?
Sure.
So it comes with different challenges, but I'm getting there. I've got to build the control console and the blinky lights on the computers on the walls and the back door. You're not going to be able to go into the back section or see into the back section because the shuttle's just completely the wrong shape for that. So
right.
It'll have a back wall with a door on it, but it's coming along, and hopefully it won't be too long before it's done.
Hey, Carwin?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm wondering if you're running into the same problem with that ceiling light that I did with that flying sub, in that the diffusing that light, because the space between your light source and the top of the ceiling there is so small.
Right. Well, what I've done, I'll show you the ceiling right now. Okay. This is how the ceiling light looks.
Okay. How deep is that?
This is 3.5 millimeters.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what I've done is I've put in a channel around the window, the top glass panel.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is I've got these the strip tape LED, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to set them into the channel.
So they shine inside, okay. Yes.
And it should light up the panel because it's frosted. It should light up the panel. And I mean, this is all trial and error at the moment. So, but I think that'll do it. I think by putting it as 2 strips either side of the glass panel, it should light up nice and even.
Okay. Cool.
And it won't be any thicker than the maximum it'll be is 4 millimeters. So. We have to see. We have to see what it looks like when it's lit.
Okay.
Well, speaking of someone who I haven't spoken to, how you doing, Colin?
Oh, hey, not bad, Jack. Good to see you guys.
You're
kind of missed you.
You said you're out in Wyoming and you do your model building in your garage, and Wyoming and winter don't mix.
Yeah.
At least
cold weather and modeling don't mix. I don't care where you live. It gets below 50 degrees or so. You don't want to be blowing paint around. It does strange things to it. So unfortunately, we've been kind of doing other things. So.
And you also say that you are now in RC.
Well, that's I started getting to RC again. I hadn't done that in like 20 years, and back in the days when you're using fuel, nitro stuff like that. So now we're doing the battery stuff, so that's been a change. A lot easier. And that and photography, got back into that.
This is what you said you were working on or have already.
Also the drones, that's a DJI Phantom 2. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much what it is.
So you're going to go out to California and take pictures of movie stars out on the beach or something, huh?
Well, not exactly. One of the misnomers about the drones and the cameras that are on them in this particular case is there's not a zoom lens on that. This idea that you're going to fly over somebody's house and take pictures of them sunbathing, that's not going to happen. You'd have to be, pretty close to the ground and pretty close to them to get anything. All you're going to see in a picture from, 100 feet up in the air is the little figure out there. That's going to be it.
Can a man dream?
Well, you can do anything you want, Jack. Knock yourself out.
It's really nice seeing you back here. I mean, I really miss you, and I sent you a message weeks ago, and you finally answered. Glad you did. I was concerned. You're like my internet family, and I do care, of course.
I appreciate that.
Well, next up we have Heath. How you doing, Heath?
How are we all?
We are fine. How are we there?
Oh, good. I'm enjoying my May the 4th be with you day. I really am. It's a bit strange, though. I really should be doing a Star Wars model since it's Star Wars Day. But you can't help bad luck.
Isn't it Star Wars Day? Yes.
Yes. I didn't want to force it.
So show and tell there, mister.
Well, what I've been doing, I've just finished doing some. I've got to do some. The red paint I'm using is absolutely disgusting. This is the rear downforce to my IndyCar, and look at that. I mean, the paint just ran off.
Oh,
It's just, I don't know what's going on with it. I really don't. The red, on the other hand, is absolutely disgusting. It just, I mean, the body.
I'm only laughing because Phil's laughing. Okay. I
don't know what struck me as funny, but maybe it's just Heath's trouble he's in. I don't know. But the paint just ran off.
What is this, pick on Heath Day?
No, Heath,
When isn't it?
Heath, we love you. I mean, come on, don't take offense to it. I mean, you know.
It's not like that. I mean, the trouble we had with paint.
I've just finished doing I've done some more work on the body. I've done some painted the air. Well, these are. I've just painted them inside black, so it looks more real.
Mm-hmm.
I've also painted the interior.
Oh, nice.
As well.
Uh-huh.
And it goes like this. So, oh, hello, I might need to do a bit more with that. It would look like this at the end. I've test fitted everything.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on a minute, just bear with me. Sorry.
It's okay.
That's
We're
how it's
there.
going to look. That's how it's going to look.
Oh, uh-huh. Oh, cool. Okay, that's isn't that,
So,
what kind of a car is that?
this is a 1999 IndyCar.
Okay.
This is Chip Ganassi. It's from a team I used to follow, Chip Ganassi, who are still with it. They're still doing it, but they're not so successful as they were back in the 90s.
Mhm.
But no, I found this at my local hobby store for about $25. I thought, why not?
Mhm.
So, but I've got what have I got now? I've got an Enzo Ferrari
Mhm.
that I'm going to be building next. That's from Fujimi, the same guys who made your Ferrari.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, now that we're brought up the subject of that model kit, do I have to paint that? Because it looks pretty without the paint.
Oh, you don't have to. You don't have to.
Because it's
Don't
like
have to
molded
paint
in
it.
like 4 or 5 colors. I mean, you know.
Because, believe it or not, that red is the same red that they use. It's actually called a Scarlet Live. It's actually called Scarlet. So the model that the car you got there, you can leave it that color if you want, because that's the same color.
Let me bring it out. I often bring it out. I should be able to, this is something I could probably build in the wintertime if I'm not going to, paint it. But this is what Mr. Heath is talking about.
Yep, and that's a classic car too. It's a brilliant car.
Yeah, it is. It is. I'm wanting to build it, but something, though, I have to say that my skills, well, you guys know what my skills are like.
Yeah, you break things.
I melt them.
But as people who the people who weren't with us across the pond on Saturday, look at this, guys. I got one.
He's got the toy.
Oh!
Oh, you crack me up. I love it. I've seen so many people buy so many of those.
Well, there was only 2 left from the place I got them. I said I had to get one. I had to get one.
Sure. But
And I've seen what people.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's all right. That's okay. My fault. I interrupted you. So, but no, I've seen what people have done with that, and it looks rather. I mean, there's one guy putting in the actual lights and stuff like that. So, but I don't know. I still might make the table. I've been thinking about that table or something else. Don't know.
Heath, I just want to say it's a good thing that your paint is running off and not running away.
Well, I don't know what's causing it. I don't know what's causing it. I mean,
Is it too thin?
I think the red is too thin. I think the red. The red I'm using is an acrylic. This is the red I'm using.
I know what's going on. You absolutely need to sand it and prime it, because if you just put it on bare plastic, it'll roll right off.
Ah,
Plastic,
that's what I forgot to do.
water, it's water resistant,
Oh.
I guess I just assumed he'd already primed it. If he's just put it in bare plastic, yeah.
No, I didn't prime it. Oh,
you
God.
could use any primer,
Bad boy, bad monkey, no banana.
You can spray paint it with a flat, cheap paint. You don't have to do anything serious, but you do have to kind of sand it. Don't you guys agree? Okay, there you go. You got the two.
That's the primer.
That's the primer, right?
And you know what? I should have thought. I was thinking to myself when I'm painting it, I'm going, Heath, don't you need to prime it first? And me and my stupid arrogantness, I go, no, you don't need to prime it.
Hey, I'm the one that's asking.
Yeah, you know.
Jeez.
All right, moving on. Let's say hi to James.
Move on.
Hi, Jack. You hear me okay?
I can hear you, but your screen is kind of black.
Okay, I had a little Windows 7 crash there, so I had to reboot everything back up.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and screen share your latest on your. It's a good thing I don't do paper models because I won't only melt it, but I would probably set it on fire. Probably why I don't do any paper models. And here you go.
Okay. Yeah, that's the pictures taken tonight, and that's an onward bow down look at everything. I finished putting the 10.5 rangefinder on top of the tower today, as well as started to put in the launch rails for the aircraft, and you can see it here. Yeah, the launch rails for the aircraft is in. And started work on the mizzen deck.
That looks gorgeous.
Nice one.
Very cool. Oh, better view. Look at this. Okay, this is like a helipad here?
This is the mizzen deck. There's more decks to go on here.
Oh, okay.
One thing I did add that was not in the kit, but it was in with my pictures of the ship, was on the support platform for the two boom swing booms. There was a safety railing, and I installed a safety railing there, so it looks more like what was actually there.
I mean, this here.
Yeah, the next one down, the support railing for the two booms.
Oh, okay.
You can just barely see it. It's actually a little piece of photo etch.
I can see it. I know what you mean. Yeah, they tend to miss little bits of detail like that, don't they?
Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool.
So that's basically where I'm at tonight. Oh, the other thing I added was, because it was the last piece on that one particular sheet, was two manual small rangefinders on the Admiral's deck. You can just barely see them.
Mm-hmm.
They're little triangles on the... That's the deck with the walkway goes towards the funnel.
Cool.
That's very, very nice.
Yeah, it is. Good.
It's very nice. It's getting close to being, is that correctly? James?
Yeah.
Are you going to be done with that soon, or how much more you got to go on that?
I've probably got another, probably close to 1 month's work.
Oh, okay.
Left to be done.
Uh-huh. Cool.
So I expect to have this done probably at the end of May.
Mhm. End of May. Okay.
So it's been going along pretty good. So
That's really nice. I'm really looking forward to seeing that done. That's actually pretty cool. Not many battleships being done on this community. I don't know why. Maybe because somebody like me thinking that people sink their own. Never mind. How you doing, Keith?
Even about the belt.
Good, thank you. How's all doing?
You're all fine, I think.
That's good.
I bet you Keith.
Well, I'm working on this is a glider for the Green Goblin.
Uh-huh.
I'm just putting I don't know, extra beams and stuff like that on it. I'm going to fill it in with plastic and put some other scratch building in there.
Mm-hmm.
He's drying. And I'm just currently painting up the pumpkin side. Probably can't see it.
That is so cool.
The Green Goblin.
Of the Green Goblin, yeah. So he's only the first coat of the orange or darker orange on his. I haven't even finished that yet, but yeah. So working on him. He's just about done. I got to do his bag and a few other bits and pieces, his belt and stuff like that. But he's just about done. Still waiting for the parts from Jay Barron for the Defiant, which is on a real slow boat.
You know, I'm waiting for that too, but I decided not to wait for it. I'd like to be surprised.
Yeah, remember those wait. Spent a fair amount of work on a fair amount of time on getting this up to the point where I, as soon as Jay Barron's parts come in, I can just, install them.
Yeah, mine's sitting in the box waiting for his parts to show up. Jay, I'm sorry you didn't show up today, but we're making fun of you now.
Hey, rather him than me.
And I'm doing a couple of one of the 72nd Vipers as well.
I see.
And that's about it.
I hear what you're saying. When you're waiting for something, you end up doing other things. Like I don't know. When I'm waiting for a part, like any aftermarket part, I'm not saying just Jay alone, or even if I'm like photo etch. I kind of get mixed up in another project. Don't you find yourself doing the same thing too, Keith?
Yeah, I do. I started this. I mean, I got the Green Goblin and Spider-Man in, and I was just waiting for Jay Barron's parts, and I went, I'll have wanted to do the Green Goblin for a while, and I'll get stuck into it. So,
and you know what? You can probably do a 350 Enterprise refit, which is, if anybody knows, it's a pain in the ass to really build. It takes a long time. I'm sure you can get that before they show up. I think you can build that together. Yep, I think you can build that up too. Yes. I'm waiting for it too. In fact, I got the repop, and I'm going to, when I get the parts, I'm going to use the repop. I have the original cast, but I'm going to try it on a repop. Is that the repop that you got there, or is that the original?
Repop.
It's the repop? Okay.
Yeah. There's no real difference between the two. There's a different stand, but they're still just as crappy as one another.
Right, you've got to build the interior, because if you don't build an interior to hold the two sides up, you can actually pop it open once it's done.
Yeah, pretty easy.
Easy to do that. Another one who knows how easy that is, it's Mitch. How you doing, Mitch?
How you doing?
I'm doing.
All right.
What are you doing?
I'm working on Jupiter 2.
Uh-huh.
Very nice job.
Let's see if I can get it up in the frame here. But this is from the movie, of course. This is not the... I still got to do the exterior painting on it and get it touched up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that does look nice.
I'm looking for snapshots of that. Oh yeah, look at that interior. Cool beans.
Yeah, and
Wow.
you can see the dash. I've got the dash lit up.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow.
And
Oh wow.
got the engines going.
That's cool.
And also, let's see, we've got the underneath with the lights going.
Is that really the way it was in the movie?
That's the way it took off. That's the way I put it.
Really? I don't remember. I just remember the rear nozzles there, which was like not even in the original at all.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
Even in the movie, they never showed the bottom, but on the takeoff where it burst open and then this took off, they never showed it after that, so you really couldn't tell.
I don't know. The movie made the ship look a lot bigger than that model is giving away to, because you know, if you can see like buttons on your consoles, that's not a very small, I should say, very big scale.
It's about, I'd say, 10 inches long.
Right. What I mean is, it's what, a 125, 1350, or what is it? I don't think it's a 350. I think it might be even a 250.
Yeah.
No, actually, bigger. Bigger would be making 550. I'm sorry, 550.
Yeah.
650. Yep. It could very well be 650. I don't know. It's just just wonder what the actual dimensions are of the ship if it were real. But I like the flickering effect that you got there, Mister. I like that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Is that the LEDs themselves, or is that a board?
No, it's not a board. The only thing that's a board is the lights underneath, where I got 3 speeds on the board from Ralph. Where I can slow it down, speed it up. If I, do the do the magnet, now I can slow it down.
That is so cool. How much was this board?
That's pretty cool. I gotta admit that I like that.
Yeah.
How much was his board?
I think it was like 60 maybe.
Okay. Sounds about right.
Yeah. But it's not bad.
No, it isn't. That's actually a lot of fun. That looks like a lot of fun to build, actually.
It is. I mean, I had a lot of fun with it. I still got to do all the exterior paint, though. And I'm not going to do the bright blue or the blue colors here. I'm going to just do a light gray. Try to make it look more authentic. But even in the colors, like's on the most people that build them. So I'm just going to do like a light gray with a little extra. But I got all the lights in. I'm happy with it.
You should be. That's really good. That's a really good mix of stuff you got there. I don't know. I don't see that being built very often. But glad you got it built.
Yeah, we're happy with it. And I'm going to do the Death Star next. It's a pretty big kit, but...
Oh, that is a big kit. This is a big ball, is all it really is. I wonder, is there any... Now, that was released back in the day. This isn't something that was newly released.
Yeah. No, this is pretty old kit, but it's a pretty big model. I mean, it's about maybe the size of a not softball, but the soccer ball. So
it's almost a good thing with the old kits because styrene takes what 600,000 years to degrade.
Yeah.
So I wonder what eBay would look then.
Imagine if they released the Star Wars Death Star from the second Death Star.
Oh, yeah.
How detailed would that be?
That would be.
I think somebody done a photo etch upgrade kit for it.
Oh, really?
Wow.
I think they did, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And that was pretty detailed.
I was gonna say, geez.
Speaking of photo etch, hi Phil. Phil? Hi Phil.
Nice job.
I think
Earth to Phil.
He's working on his photo etch. Okay, we're moving on to Wayne. How you doing, Wayne?
Hi everyone.
Bill's gone AWOL.
So what you got working on your bench there, mister?
Me, I have got that E75, which is now code. Just going to start weathering it now. Finish off all the touches to it. So, we're also working on my Death Set squad to go with it.
That's a lot of delicate painting.
Pardon?
It's a lot of delicate painting you got.
Yeah. And I'm going to start my Churchill Crocodile as soon as I get this knots on the head. But the E75 is the first one I used an airbrush on. Mostly airbrushed. So.
Have you posted anything lately?
I did post it. I did post some stuff before Bank Holiday weekend, Friday night.
Okay. Oh well, Bob, Phil's back. Hi, Phil.
Yeah, sorry.
You gotta see. You gotta roll back the episode when you left. I said you were gone because you were working on photo etch.
yeah, Gone's right. Man, I don't have any starships with pretty lights. I don't have any nice sidewalk molded from resin. By the way, that's a pretty cool job, my man. I like your measurements.
Yeah.
That was damned perfect. But what I do have Jack. Oh,
Go
yeah.
ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
well, while you got the photo etch up, yeah, that's just a few of the pieces. But I haven't had a lot of time to do much, so yeah, that's kind of a few weeks' work. Just, I tell you, I will not build another ship for a while because those railings are so fragile.
Oh,
And
I bet.
like the more you put on, the more you've got to put on, and the more you've got to handle the part. and I mean, this is a superstructure, and it's just full of railing, and you know, I am so fumble-fingered that I bend it, I crush it, I get into all sorts of trouble with it. So yeah, there won't be another boat for some time. There may not be any painting for some time.
Last time, Bill.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, I really mean it this time. I was painting the Saturn V outside yesterday, which I'm using automotive acrylic, and of course I hesitated for just a second. So now I've got a couple of runs. But when I went out and checked it later on, it had blown over in the wind and broke the escape rocket off. So now I have a Saturn V with a broken escape. Oh, no big deal. Bit of super
I'm sure if you get a hold of Don, he would have a spare one, I'm sure.
Oh no, I found the rocket. I've got it.
Okay, you got to fix
I
it.
just got to pull it back on. Yeah. And I managed to finally get some primer on Red 5. And there's been quite a few of these built lately around the community. So Red 5 may not be Red 5 by the time I'm finished with it.
Yeah. Not to ask a dumb question, Phil, but are you heating that photo etch? Right through flame?
They bloody melt. No.
A photo etch? I just said that's what you're supposed to. What do they call that?
No, they talk about annealing it.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
And that's all very well for people using photo etch that are, big plates, and they have to, plate that goes on here or something like that. These ship railings, you got no idea. This is like working with cat's whistle wire.
I get the idea.
You only have to blow it. Yeah, I mean, I don't think annealing it would make any difference whatsoever.
No.
Well, I have a question for you, though. When I was looking at those pictures, you got the railing up, If it were me, the only thing you would see is glue and not railing.
That's because I edit my pictures before I post them.
You Photoshop and Lightroom every time.
Actually, I've become quite practiced at getting a tiny bit of. Actually, what I do is I use the super glue gel, and I put a tiny bit of super glue gel, just scrape it along the bottom edge, and then hold it. And I got to tell you, yeah, you can use tweezers and all sorts of stuff, but I usually just hold it with my finger.
Yeah.
When you're as fumble-fingered as me, when you finally get it to stick, and then you manage to unstick your finger from the railing.
Hey, that's me.
Yeah, that picture there, Jack, the one you've got up, you can see those railings around the front edge. Well, one of them didn't have a railing. And I thought, why is there no railing there? Don't tell me they've done that to me again. And I was about to break out some spare bits of railing from the Missouri, and then I realised that the reason they'd left it off is I didn't do another shot of it. There's a piece of railing that runs the whole length, and you can see it. No, you can't see it here. It's too bright. Runs the whole length of the superstructure, and then you can see it there, and then wraps around. It's like and the only way to do it is on the model. So, I'm trying to make these compound bends with a pair of tweezers. It took me 2 days because you have to let a section of the super glue set up. And you can see from that, the railing around the searchlight. I mean, it's war damage. It's definitely bad damage. So, I mean, it's going to look okay when it's all sprayed up, and as long as
you get a couple toothpicks in there, straighten it out. Yeah.
But of course, by the time you think, okay, I need to straighten that, by the time it's on the model, you forget about it. So, anyway. So that's where we are. Oh, and I won't tell you about the second half of the flight deck. I think last time I was on, I glued I had to break the flight deck apart again to get it to fit because it was such a bad fit. At the moment, I can't get the second half of the flight deck to fit on. It's a nightmare. I need to bring it up here and hit it with a sander and do all sorts of stuff. And of course, when I do that, I'm going to bend all the railing that's already on the hull.
Well, as I say, better you than me on that.
I think I'm going to make a spaceship with lights in it next up. Just for something easy to do.
I'm just imagining people watching this, looking to get into the hobby, and now listening to Phil say, "Hey, I ain't gonna do that."
No, the ship itself's fine. It's just the photo etch railings are the worst part.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all the other bits of photo etch and little pieces that they have. I mean, I think if you go back to the picture, you've got the radar dishes. The radar antennas.
Okay, let me go back.
Yeah, I can go. Oh, hang on, I've got one here. Oh, it's probably better in the picture because it's a bit bright here. Little radar antenna there.
Oh, sorry. Hold up. Hold it up. Go ahead. You're on.
I think if you can just hold the light.
Oh, there. Wow.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 9 pieces of photo etch just to make that antenna.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So I mean, they take a bit of time, but there's a lot of satisfaction, And if you don't look at the odd bends, and then the blobs of glue that I can see.
You're using CA, aren't you?
There's really you're limited with the photo etch. CA is the best. You can also use canopy glue, or white glue. You can also use a dab of paint. It just depends on, the CA is best though because it dries quicker.
Well, the only danger of that is that if it dries so quick, it kind of like glues your finger, it just dries your fingers.
That's why I use the gel. It gives me a little bit more work time with it. But
and just so anybody knows, you can get the watery kind, you can get a really thick kind, you can get all the kinds in between.
Yeah. I use the, I don't have any up here, but it's...
But you can also get opera as well.
Yeah.
I would probably use a toothpick with the watery stuff, but you know how many times I'll be done. I know how much glue I'd be wasting by doing that. It's almost like using epoxy. You can use epoxy for that. Yeah, you can.
Yeah. I go through a lot of it, but it's the waste is just part of the deal. I just squirt some out on a piece of glass and then just pick a dab up with a toothpick. So yeah, for every, I probably waste half of what I put out, but you just live with that. I'm not looking to save glue. I'm just looking to have the right amount at the right time. The other thing about it too is you only need to tack this stuff in place, because once you paint it, the paint is going to anchor it down and firm it up. So
yeah, there's almost no stress on it. Yeah.
No, exactly.
Plus, once you keep it as well.
Except when Fumble Fingers tries to put a different part on, and then you look at it and you say, like, this little part I was putting in here. And I thought, oh, what a great job! That looks good. That's sweet. And I looked over the top and found that I'd bent the railing in on the other side. Because, I really don't have opposable thumbs that serve any purpose.
Today's anthropology lesson.
Anyway.
I'm just picturing Phil trying to put photo etch on, being like a chimpanzee trying to get into a banana.
That's pretty well it, buddy. I can't tell you how many times I've carefully maneuvered a piece of railing into position, because some of them are really small, and it's perfectly positioned. And then I can't get the tweezers out because I've moved the tweezers to the rail edge.
That can be a problem. And with me, every time I come down here, I remind myself that I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing, because I'm just about done with my TIE fighters. All I got to do is take this mold that I made and fill it with the clear stuff. So one of them has, I don't know, I can't find one of them, so I'm going to make a mold of it. I did make a mold of it, I just got to cast it. So, but aside from that, I've just gotten, I think with all this talk going on, you need to switch gears, like Keith and Mitch and I think everybody else, while working on a project, it's got to do something different. So all you Trek fans know what this is. This would be the Romulan bird of prey.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I got it running at 12 volts. Actually, it's kind of warm because I've got LED tape all around the edges as well as on the underside shining out, because I've got little holes there that I'm going to put fiber optic in. And you see the semicircle there with
nice.
That would be the, I guess, the cloaking device emitters. And you can see the green one right there.
Mm-hmm. Why is it green?
Because it will be glowing green. And I just have a piece of fiber optic. Let's see if I can pull it out. Okay. Fumble fingers.
Don't disconnect it from the LED when you pull it out, will you?
Well. Oh, shoot. I just had it out, too. I just don't want to pull it all the way out.
Is that glued together, Jack?
Oh, this isn't glued in.
Oh, good.
Where did it go? There it is.
Oh, okay.
Right there, and I just got to push it back in. There. And that's the way it's going to look.
Sweet.
Cool. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
course,
we won't want to see you destroy it on live on the live chat. You know?
right. But it's going to be, all the windows are going to be pretty muted like that. I think in this regular light, you can just see that it's there. And of course, when you dim down the lights, it'll be much brighter. And what I'm doing is just sticking a fiber optic inside that it's all nice and bright and lit and all that stuff inside. And I don't have any green fiber optics, so what I'm doing is I'm just painting it with clear green.
Yeah, I thought maybe that's what you did.
Well, considering there's 20 of these on each side, it's going to be a lot of little tiny little pieces that are going to be dipped into the paint twice, you know, and drying time in between. So that's going to take a long time to do. And out of all the AMT kits, I have to admit that this kit has a stand that's actually worth using.
That's pretty cool.
So it's just a simple 2 pieces of plastic. And I'm really looking forward to, once I get this all this gapping sanded and looking pretty, I'm looking forward to getting the nacelles on. So this is a sneak peek as to what it might look like.
It's a bigger kit than I thought.
It is. Well, it's pretty wide. The ship itself is a wide ship.
Yeah, it's a nice size.
Yeah, it's gonna look good.
So I haven't seen
the old kit or the new kit?
Yeah, that's neat.
Is that the old kit or the new kit that's coming out?
This is out of the 10 box. It's just a repop of the. They don't make new ones. They just repop the old ones. So that's the original AMT Romulan bird of prey, and it does come. Of course, it comes with a decal. That's going to be interesting. It's a very large decal. What you do is you just cut them into sections and you put them on. You don't put them on at one time.
Yeah.
When you're around Carwin, just say it's a TMA.
Yes.
TMA? Not an AMT?
The crap!
So that's what I've also been gardening all weekend too. I am really tired. I've used muscles I haven't used in a long time, and I feel it. So I planted a lot of plants and stuff and got the garden started. So that's all I did today was just put the LED tape in. Actually, all weekend, put the LED tape in, put the 2 halves together, and that's all I did. I really didn't do anything. So. And I got the shaky hands syndrome. You got the fumbly hands there, Phil. I got shaky hands. So here I am soldering the LED tape to wire. Oops, I slipped, and one of the LEDs go dark. You know.
Yeah. The old shaky
the
hands.
The other 2 are nice and bright, but the one is, of course, you know, that's just me. Shaky hands. You got fumbly hands. I got shaky hands.
I have the shaky hands too, but the fumbly hands were the bigger problem.
Send your dollars to.
Well, thanks. Darkman had said a question, but he said excellent shell on the Romulan warbird. Will there be a bird of prey on the bottom? Yes, it's a large. I'll pull it out. I don't know what we're talking about. Yes, I showed everybody yesterday on Across the Pond that I got the Akira. And I'd like to thank Armando for this. He's the one who sold it to me. I'm really pleased with it. He had just built his.
Yeah, I had a look at it. He did a really good job on it.
He did a phenomenal job on it.
Yeah.
Phenomenal job on it. Okay. All right, I didn't open up the decal, so let's just open it now. So they do come in sections. So this is what they look like. So I might have to do further sections, like possibly do this curve right here, and maybe straight across here.
Oh, yeah. You're gonna need to divide those up.
Yeah, need to cut these up a little more.
Yeah, trust me. I mean, after doing the D, oh,
Well, this won't be so bad right here. This won't be so bad because it's a pretty even piece, but they got cut-ins here.
Yeah.
That makes the decal a lot more fragile in those areas. So instead of fighting it, cut it.
I find it rather amazing that on the planet Romulus, they actually have avians that look like the same as those on Earth.
Ah, yeah, but they're orange.
They call them Oompa Loompas, I think. Oh, come on, guys. You've seen the movie. Come on. The Oompa Loompas are orange. Who are the Oompa Loompas? They make the chocolate. They make the candy.
Yeah.
That would be a good diorama to do. You know that. That would be really cool to do. If you can actually use real candy to build the diorama, huh? Yeah.
I'm just picturing Robin and Oompa Loompas.
Well, so there you go, Darkman, about the decals for the bird on the bottom. Yeah, there will be something on the bottom. And since there's and what I do with decals is, and I think it's important to note, that when I put a decal on, I just basically squeeze all the water I could possibly squeeze out from underneath it by gently rubbing a cotton swab across it. Sometimes if you're doing it too hard when the decal starts sliding around. And then immediately I cover it with matte finish. Vallejo makes it just like the paint, a matte finish that you can just squeeze out of the bottle and just use a paintbrush to cover it, especially the sides of the decal so that when it dries, it seals the sides, and that way the decal won't dry up and curl after a while. I do that immediately. I don't wait. Some people wait. I'm impatient. I put it right away on.
No, I normally give my decals about a day to dry before I do anything to them.
I hit mine straight away with Tester's decal set. But this is probably why I don't do many decals. But no, that seems to work really well too, although that's hellish volatile stuff, but it does make the decal.
When you want to get it to conform, it's good stuff to put on. But again, once you've done that, you need to give it a full day just to make sure that any chemical fumes or anything is off there before you do anything to them.
Yeah.
So yeah. Plus, like I said, I had problems with decals just disintegrating from lacquer. So I just ended up using the Citadel Games Workshop hardcore, and that doesn't do anything at all to decals. It just gives it a really good coat of gloss.
That stuff is awesome.
What you got there, Keith?
Mr. Hobby, Mr. Super Clear UV cut. This is a gloss one. I've also got the matte version of it, and this doesn't react with decals or anything really. It's don't know what formula they use, but it's beautiful. It's nice and smooth and doesn't react with decals and doesn't cause them to disintegrate. And gives a nice hard coat. So usually with the figures, I will give it a gloss coat of this stuff. And then I'll go over the top of that with like a matte coat with a Tester's dull coat, which is just
Krylon makes a spray too. A clear spray, you can make matte finish, you can make gloss. But when you're down in the basement or in a garage or something, you don't want to build up the fumes during the winter time, so you just improvise with, I guess, others. I would prefer to use those sprays, though. I would prefer to use those sprays. They work really good.
You need a spray booth.
Yeah, I got to knock a hole in the window, and I don't think I would be allowed to do that. This is why I'm trying to move to a different house. I won't have to be in the basement, but I think that because they're just right up there.
Fair enough.
Anyhow, it's been. I don't know. The weather's been good. I don't know. I'll be going outside. What about you guys? You're going to be modeling while the weather is still really good? Do you guys come
I model whether the weather is crap. If I didn't model when the weather, if I only modeled when the weather was good, I'd still be on my first model kit.
Yeah. What, 2, possibly 3 days a year?
Yeah.
Well, you got weather for ducks, don't you?
Oh yes. Yes, and even they go, Jesus, it's wet. How many times do you go to a duck's pond and see a depressed looking swan?
We get the Canadian geese down here, and we've been getting seagulls from the Great Lakes because the Great Lakes froze over. Once it freezes over, they migrate further south. So now we got Canadian geese, seagulls, and the pigeon population is dwindling because we've got peregrine falcons. So at least they're killing those rats in the sky. But you know, so much for model building. We're talking about the weather. So anyhow, it's been a pleasure talking to you guys, and thank you for sharing what you have had done in the past and in the current. Carwin, thank you for sharing. I'm looking forward for that D to get done. Is it not done?
It's 95.5% done.
You need another rainy day. Another rainy day is what you're saying, right?
No, what I need is to sit down, put the decals on, and not get frustrated with the amount of decals that they give you. Because, like I said, it's good, but there's a lot.
Yeah.
You know, by the time you're done. I mean, I done it one day, and I was sitting in an awkward position, and I put my back out, putting decals on. I've never needed a chiropractor to put a decal on before.
You have to take a walk down to the pond and talk to the swan.
Oh yeah, you should have it.
Yeah, that's coming next.
You know, one day I was kind of like on the internet not wanting to build a model, and I traced the River Thames up to its source. It goes pretty far. It gets close to Wales, actually.
Yeah, it's a big river.
It is a big river, I would say by your country standards, and I say that because your country's small, I guess.
But it's a big river for any country, really, but you've got to stretch it out, because it kind of does that.
Right.
You know?
Well, what I wanted to do actually was look at the Tower Bridge, and then I got to looking at Buckingham Palace, then I got looking at Windsor Castle, then I ended up upriver to where the Thames, where it starts, and actually it's quite fascinating.
Yeah.
It is the second longest river in England.
Yep.
Yep.
And David Williams swum it.
Well, not where I was looking.
Oh no. But you know, that's the thing with the UK. We have a we have a small country, so we double up on everything.
Yeah.
So a journey that's only 60 miles that way will take you 120 miles.
Right. Amazingly enough, the source is right where a couple of fields drain, and well, it starts into a little stream. Of course, all rivers do. But there's a few really quaint little places along the way, very nice little towns and whatnot. Very, I don't know, that would be kind of a cool thing to do. Build a model of the Tower Bridge, not the Thames.
Yeah.
But the
I was
Tower
wondering
Bridge
when you
is
were going to
actually
bring it
pretty
back
cool.
to modeling.
Right.
We cover everything in this show.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for coming by, Colin. I haven't seen you in a really long time.
It's been a pleasure, Jack.
I'm glad you're keeping up with the hobby, because after all, if you didn't, like the rest of us, we'd be more sane. No, that didn't come out.
No, that'll never happen, no. Ain't gonna happen.
So what's next on your agenda for our RC?
Right now it's just basically get used to buying the controller for it, and
Have you crotched them yet?
oh hell yeah.
Are they fixable?
Well, the last one I tried to fix, I fried accidentally. Just a little. It's called a nano. It was about yay big, and it just kind of. Yeah, I got some parts where I put the battery in and didn't realize there was a short, and so yeah.
If you fried it, I hope it was over easy.
Oh yeah, but
wow.
Yeah,
well, okay, we got to take some pictures of that stuff and start posting.
Yeah.
All right. James, thanks for stopping by. Oh, I can see you now. Look at that. Is that what you look like? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wait, James is a guy?
Yeah.
So, James, thanks for sharing, and looking forward to seeing your Bismarck getting done, just so the Brits can sink it again.
Okay, you're welcome.
When I was a kid, I used to build paper models, out of cardboard, because I wasn't allowed to get kits or anything like that. So I built all the Star Wars kits, and one year I got my hands on a few fireworks on the M80s and blew them up. Of course, I thought gasoline first, and of course, that was actually pretty cool. I don't know why I'm saying that to you, because you're making paper models. They're so much easier to burn than plastic ones. So thanks for stopping by, James, and sharing. And Keith, thank you for sharing what you have. And I've wanted to been asking you, what is that contraption off to your left? What is that thing off to your left? Yes, that.
The big thing?
That's it.
It's just my spray booth.
It's a spray booth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like Frankenstein's shop, actually.
It's a bit weird, but I got the idea of a guy from Fish Carvers in the state, and it doesn't have any filters or anything like that in it. It uses corrugated pipe, which causes a vortex, which stops the paint particles going up into the motor, which is at the top.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? So you got a flow-through fan, and you have it catch with that. That's interesting. Well, that's probably why the dryer hose is filled with lint, because of the vortex. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously, Keith, we were talking about ducks and the weather, and now you bring it up? All
right. Interesting. And I would not be able to do something like that, but it is easy to build. It's just a box with a fan in it for the most part. Yeah. I often wondered, because it looked like a kiln to me. I don't know why I thought that, but it looked like a kiln.
Yeah, I thought it looked like a robot. I was going to put a face on it and stuff like that.
Right. Thanks, Mitch, for stopping by. I haven't stopped by in a long time.
Okay, no problem.
And it was. I'm looking forward to your finish there on your Jupiter too.
Yeah. Gotta do a lot of touch up, but we're good to go.
Awesome. And Fumbly Fingers Phil, how you doing? Fumbly Fingers Phil. Thanks for sharing what you got. That photo etch stuff is, again, I would not be able to do that. Good for you.
Of course you would. It just takes some practice. That's all. But yeah,
what are you going to be working on next?
Oh, I do have a 350 Enterprise in the works that I started lighting last summer. So I put that aside to build the Missouri. So I'm thinking I'll go back to that when I'm done.
Cool. Yeah. Very good. And Wayne, thanks for stopping by, the man of many words.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the only word I can tell. Yeah, ale. Yes, I can do ale. In fact, I just might go upstairs and grab me one. Well, thanks for stopping by and sharing what you had to share, too.
Yeah.
All right, kids, it was another 2 weeks for another Hangout. Actually, I'm going to announce that maybe in June we're going to have one Hangout, but I haven't figured out how it's going to work out. because there's a camping trip I'm going to be going on. If anybody wants to host this nasty stuff, sure, go right ahead. But we'll see you in a couple of weeks for Across the Pond and the Sunday Night Hangout. Thanks, everyone, for watching, and happy modeling, everyone. Bye now.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.